YouTube, SharpnelBoy here, and welcome to a new skit that I'm making, SharpnelBoy Saturdays. In this episode, I'm going to talk about the Final Fantasy VII Remake a little bit. Apparently, according to what I've been reading up on, Square is going to release Final Fantasy VII not in a full game, but as a series of games. Now, I'm a huge fan of Final Fantasy VII, and I understand that, Square wants to make money, any way possible they can. But to be perfectly honest, I really don't like this idea of making the FF7 remake as a series of games rather than just one full game, because that'll just completely ruin the game, in my opinion. Like, I know they did that with Final Fantasy 13, and I know the developers said that they wanted to do the same thing with Final Fantasy 7, but to be perfectly honest, I think that would just completely ruin the flow of the entire game, because let's be honest, a lot of us grew up with Final Fantasy VII, a lot of us grew up with this game. And separating the game into several different episodes, it doesn't matter if they keep the storyline. That's way more money than people would expect to spend on a game that we've been waiting for a remake for so long. Now, here's my problem with it. Why is Square making this leap? Why is Square doing the same thing they did with Final Fantasy 13? Now, I understand that the Final Fantasy 13 series was intended to be, in fact, a series of games with a really confusing storyline, a really confusing plotline, and things like that, with the first one being Final Fantasy 13, then 13-2 with Lightning's sister, and then Lightning Returns with the final showdown between Caius and Lightning. They're intending to do the same thing with Final Fantasy VII, the HD remake. I honestly have a problem with that, because to be perfectly honest, if you were to make Final Fantasy VII a series of games, it would kind of ruin the flow of the game. I would like to hear y'all's thoughts about this one, because I don't really know exactly what else to say. Not only that, well, if they were to make this kind of late, they should have some sort of system where you can actually link the next part of the game to the part that comes before it, so that you can continue where you left off without having to worry about anything going haywire and things like that. However, I would prefer it if Square made the game not as a series of games, but as one full linear game without interrupting anything. So, I want to hear y'all's thoughts about this. Anyways, that's it for this episode of SharpnelBoy Saturdays. I will see y'all lovely people in the next video. Laters!